All right, open houses. Okay, open houses. Most agents, open houses are fantastic. And the reason why open houses are fantastic is why are open houses? Training. This is a training. Why are open houses fantastic?
You get more leads.
Get what kind of leads?
Buyer and seller leads.
How much do they cost?
They're free.
They're not free. They cost a little bit of time, right? So one thing that we talk about is most agents, they go out and they get like 5 signs. Okay. And we'll get back to this in a second, but it's the cost of signs and the cost of time. And signs, you can go get like when I first got in real estate, I got a 50 pack, no joke. We went out and bought a 50 pack of signs with the H frames, and the H frames, yeah, they're a pain in the ass because you got to like stick them in the dirt, and sometimes the dirt's freaking hard and you got to get creative with it, but you get 50 of them, right? And so what most agents do is they go out and they get 55 signs, and they go about, let's say the open house is at 1 p.m. What time do you think they start putting signs out?
12:30.
Sometimes it's like 12:45, things went wrong, and they do like 3 signs because they don't got time for 5. Okay, most agents do not like this process. Why?
Because it takes too much time.
It's not just about the time that it takes, it also is about the ego, right? So the ego of, because I went through it too, right? Like it's kind of embarrassing a little bit, like you're hopping, you know, to put through the streets and put your signs down and all this kind of stuff, to where you're hopping, you know, through putting your signs out, you got to pick them up, you're in a suit, you're getting sweaty, you're starting to sweat. Like it's not a fun and enjoyable process. But they do 5 signs. They show up around, if it's 1 p.m., they show up around 12:45, right? They open the house, they turn on the lights, they have some open house sheets. Some of them have the app, right? And what they do is they set up, you know, a couple flyers. That's it, right? Then somebody comes in and they say something along the lines like, hey, welcome to the open house. Do you mind if you sign in? Because the seller would really like you to sign in. And they don't come at it like you have to sign in or get out. Why? They don't want to be pushy. They don't want to be aggressive. They don't want to do that. So then when they do the open house sheet, right? What happens is, do you think they get 100% of everybody to sign in because of their, you think they get 100%? Usually what happens is they get like 50%, right? And then oftentimes somebody will put name, email, and then skip the phone number. So what does the agent do? They go, well, I'm going to make up a phone number here, because if you don't enter a phone number, one of the things that's kind of funny, human nature, they'll fall right in line. So the next one will be just name and email. They'll think it's okay because they didn't fill out the email. So then what happens is they get a little bit, and if they might ask them, oh, do you have an agent, right? And if they have an agent, they kind of just put like a check mark or something that says, I don't want to follow up with that person. They said they had an agent, right? Some people come in, they're in a good mood, and they go, oh, that was a good lead. I'm going to put a little star by that agent, right? I'm going to put a little star by that, and I'm going to follow up with them. Oftentimes, you think they call every single lead when they get home? What do they do?
Nothing.
Most of them do nothing because consumers don't want to get bombarded. I just saw them a couple hours ago. They're probably still thinking about it. They're this, they're that. The other ones go through, and the good ones at least make the call to the good leads. What's the challenge with a salesperson deciding from one interaction whether a lead is good or not?
It's emotional.
It's emotional. Is it accurate?
No.
Is it consistent? Is it scalable? Is it reliable? How many people have you sold in your career where the first 30 seconds were trash and then all of a sudden they became a great sale? Some of your best clients, no? Right? Do real estate agents have a phenomenal intuition when it comes to sales as a general population? So you got low effort here, you got weak script here, you got impartial information here with awkward conversation, and then in the sales process, they rarely follow up with everybody equally. Then, do you think on a Friday night, on a Saturday afternoon after working all day, Sunday afternoon after working all day, you think they stop before they go have fun when they get home and upload the 10 to 15 leads that gave them information inside of their CRM? Nope. Which ones did they enter, if any at all?
1 or 2.
1 or 2. And then when that CRM goes off, do you think they have any sort of automated plan to market to those people? If you have 100 leads and you call everybody today, how many of them actually pick up?
For leads from open houses.
Leads in general. Think about leads, because open house leads aren't that much different from other stuff. So think about this in general. If I give you 100 leads and you call everybody today, how many are actually picking up? We track it.
Maybe like 15.
Maybe 15%, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 15. So those 15 people pick up. How many of those are ready to meet with them immediately? How many appointments do you think they set immediately?
0 to 1.
0 to 1. Everybody is my wife. Continue. Love you. Okay, I know. Thank you. Thank you for the update. Love you. Thank you. All right. No, we're not gonna edit that out. But that's part of life. Amazon was built in a garage. It's fine. So then they don't have any automated plan, right? So then they make this decision where, okay, out of 40 leads, we were talking about 15%, maybe they decide to put in 15 of their CRM, then maybe 15% of them pick up. They get no appointment. So look at how watered down their leads are. And then there's no text, everything's manual. Right? The really good ones, there's some good ones that they won't leave the open house. Once they will sit in the driveway after the open house. And this is their metric of accountability. The really good ones. I don't even go home until I text and email everybody and call everybody. Okay. Do you think, or let me ask you this, in a sales process, if somebody's from a lead source and somebody is from the same exact lead source looking for the same exact product, is the first communication supposed to be pretty standard?
They're looking for the same thing.
When we call agents, do we change our cold call conversion on every single one? No, why?
It works.
It works, right? So they go through and they do all this manual texting, manual calling, manual emailing. How much time does it take for you to email and text 15 people?
Oh, a lot of time.
A lot of time. And that's the good ones.
Yeah.
That's the good ones, right? So then here comes Monday. Monday, we do all our transaction stuff on Monday so we can get the whole week started. So what is really hard oftentimes for sales reps to do Monday morning?
Call and text.
Call and text and work the lead. So what do? If you can't do it right now, when are we going to do it?
Later.
Is sales about being there at the right time in the right moment? So then Monday comes along, Tuesday comes along, and all these things come along. So by the time anything is there, they just went and traded 5 hours of their time, got limited results, got no success, and they're like, well, you got to do it. Got to do it. And at each step of the way, it's broken. Okay, agents all the time, they're like, I want to get more leads. If somebody says to me, I want more leads, where do you think I go? It's one of my first questions. Okay, how many open houses? That's good. If somebody says I want more leads, I say how many? Okay, how many leads? If somebody says I'm not getting enough leads, what's another thing on this board right here that will increase the amount of people knowing about the open house and potentially coming into the house? What are some things?
More signs.
More signs. How many signs did I tell you I went out and bought my first year of real estate?
50.
How many do you hear me tell all the agents to do? 50, right? I went and did that because I was like, these are billboards. I get a bulk discount. Yeah, I got to spend 30 minutes extra, but that's somebody else could see that open house and come in. So more signs. The other thing, I want more leads. Where else are they losing leads?
On the sign-in.
On the sign-in. Why are they losing leads on the sign-in? Hey, thank you for coming to my open house. Do you think it would be okay with you if you just signed in so I can get some feedback from you? Nah, I'm not into that. Okay, well, I don't want to pressure you. Is that a lost lead?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we go to teach them and train them in our systems and our scripting, we say, hey, Ryan, welcome to the 123 Main Street. Thank you so much for coming into the open house. I've got flyers here for you. I've got the sold comparables here for you. I know everything about the neighborhood. So if you have any questions on schools, parks, restaurants, amenities, just let me know. I know this neighborhood. By the way, we've got a free raffle entry for a $10 Starbucks gift card. We understand that sometimes it's a little challenging to get feedback. So here's what we're going to do. Everybody that signs in with accurate information, the seller's requiring it so that we can get feedback. We want to make sure that we know exactly what people are thinking about the house so we can modify the marketing if we need to. Name, email, phone number. I'm going to call you later today. And I'm going to ask you, after you talked about your wife with it, or after you thought about it, or after you've seen all the other open houses, I'm going to ask you, what do you think about price? And by doing those two things, you're automatically entered into our raffle. So sign in here, turn, let me get the flyer for you. It's not even up for discussion. Sign here, turn, grab the flyer, and just point them to it. Okay. Don't look at them, right? And you know this from door knocking, right? Like you make it hard by turning away, so now they got to stop you. Screw it. Plus this so now we got more signs, which equals more people. We got a better process here, which means higher fill-in rate. We're offering them something of value. What's in it for them? If I offer them a $10 Starbucks gift card with everything that's going on, am I more or less likely to get better information? Is it easier for me to ask them to sign in if I have something to give them in value rather than, seller kind of wants your opinion, right? Okay, so we've increased results here. We've increased results here. Now, with the Open House Lofty app, by making sure they sign in and having our, hey, how to get the best deal in real estate video, how to get the top 3 areas to look for off-market properties email, all the text messages. Thanks for coming into the open house, 123 Main Street. Can I get you comparable properties on this property? Would you like me to do that? All that stuff, all this is automated. So now they are now getting more traction. They're getting more leads. They're getting better quality leads. And they've got a systemized approach with scripting to open up the conversation. Now, instead of getting 40 leads at the open houses, they're getting 60. And these numbers are going down as the market's coming down. But this is for somebody doing like 20 leads in open house, 3 open houses a month, right? So instead of getting 40, you're getting 60. Instead of getting 15 to sign in with good information, you're probably getting more like 50. Instead of getting 50 people to pick up at the 15%, now you're at 7.5. And because you've got an automated follow-up program that's going to work with you and make sure that 3 touches have already gone out, most of them automated, and Monday get them another call in your task list, everything goes up. And even so, what you can do is walk down this line when somebody says, I do open houses, you can walk down this line with a line of questioning. Right? Now, the other thing is, okay, by doing it this way and setting them up, not only does the open house app save them a bunch of time, but what it also does, because you can ask them this question, do you set up on the day of the open house? So you ask any agent this question, the answer is always no. Let me ask you this. Every single lead, do you go into the MLS and individually set them up for new listing alerts for exactly that property? They came into that property saying, I want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in La Mesa for $750,000. Do you go into the MLS every single day right after and send them a, hey, thanks for stopping by. I wanted to send you all the other homes automatically in La Mesa that match your criteria. Do you do that? Answer is 100% of the time no. Why? I'll do it later. Instead, when you do this, not only does it increase the sign-in rates, not only does it increase the automated plan, it automatically sets them up for the #1 thing they care about. If I'm a buyer and I can't find the home that I'm looking for, what do I want to see? More homes. So so we call them and like, hey, can I help you? Can I give you education? Can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this? But yet we, as businesses, don't say, by the way, I already gave you the one thing you want. Is there anything extra service that I can give you? Okay, the problem with open houses is not just one of these things. And when you talk to agents, sometimes they'll go, I do 50 signs. Dude, amazing, dude. You know how many agents don't do 50? and do 5, bro, you're a hard worker. That's amazing. Now, guaranteed there's still a problem somewhere within here. Guaranteed. And almost always it's within the follow-up. So we've got 30 videos all lined up. We've got the text messages all lined up. We've got everything systematized so that it does all that work for them. But even if they're doing this, they're likely not doing the raffle. They're likely not automating the first communications, leading with value versus, the new listing alerts. This stuff all gets solved by prepping for the open house for a few extra minutes. Hey, I want more traffic. What else could they do for more traffic?
More signs.
They could do more signs. Another thing they could do their circle dialing call to 50 neighbors. We've got scripts for that, right? They could go door knock to 50 neighbors and invite them because like we said, it's not just about buyers, it's about sellers. Okay, when we call the neighbors, hey, what's up, Ryan? It's Josh Pono. How are you today? Great. Hey, listen, I'm hosting an open house this Saturday from 1 to 4. One of the coolest things about open houses in your neighborhood, one, it's going to tell you what the value of your home is because it's a new comp. 2, you get to pick your neighbor. Do you have any buyers that that you've been trying to get to move into your neighborhood? Who do you know? No? You don't know anybody? Fantastic. Listen, we're going to have a lot of action on this home. I'm doing a ton of marketing. I'm calling everybody. I'm door knocking. I'm doing social. I'm expecting a big turnout. If I had a buyer that didn't want to buy that home, but they wanted to buy in this neighborhood, have you ever thought about selling your home? Well, hey, no worries. I want you to come over to the house. I'd like to meet you. I'd like to show off what we're doing. I'd love your feedback. I'd love the gems so I can make sure I get you the right buyer. If I knew more about the neighborhood, I could sell the neighborhood better because obviously you know better than I do. Love to have you in. Can you come by? Hey, you can door knock. You can do those signs. Now, that stuff is really hard to pull off if the whole time you're going, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. It'll never get done. So when people say, I do open houses, they're spending about 5 hours driving, picking up the signs, dropping off the signs, showing up, doing the open house. And instead of doing 5 hours and getting watered down results, if you have a system, and we can plug people into that, it's all built in. Easy.